This is Brenda, am I right? We just exchanged line addresses, so I thought I would try sending you a text. You there, Brenda? Maybe this is a good time as any to ask you a few pertinent questions. Oh, hey Becky, right. Good evening. Good to hear from you so soon. It was nice meeting you when our families met the other night. I was a bit nervous, but it was all very enjoyable, wasn't it? So, I'm sure you already know all about me, right? Oh, of course. You're the wife of my fiancé's brother, which will make you my sister-in-law in the not-so-distant future. I look forward to being a part of the family. What should I call you after we marry? Do you mind if I continue calling you Becky? Would you rather that I call you by your real name, which would be Rebecca, right? Becky's fine. I've never really liked the name Rebecca anyway. And it sounds sort of old-fashioned. It makes me feel old for some reason. Oh, really? All right, then I'll call you Becky. I prefer that too. Sounds way younger and accessible than Rebecca. So what was it that you wanted to ask me? Was it something important? My husband tells me that you're not working at the moment. Not even a part-time job, is that true? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? I just like to know is all. What are you doing now? Just lounging around the house, or are you working at home? Like the remote online stuff we recently hear about. Yes, that's right. Most of my work I do remotely from home. Give me the details, would you? I can't get a good grasp of what you're doing when you just say, I work remotely. You sound like a robot or something. Oh, yes. Sorry. I guess you can say I send out images and messages through social media. Stuff like that. Excuse me? Sending out messages and photos and the like, is that what you're saying? I'm not asking about your hobby, Brenda. I want to know what you do for a living. Actually, that is my work. It's not a hobby, as you suggest. Not many people can really make money just posting on social media unless they have some big sponsor or something. You're delusional if you think that'll work. Only a small percentage of people can do that. Besides, I just can't fathom a person like you. An ordinary run-of-the-mill woman like yourself would have the creativity or acumen to make money on social media. So what you're actually saying is that you're unemployed, isn't that right? This social media stuff is just a mere hobby. Oh, no, I do have some income. It's not like I'm unemployed, as you put it. If you're not bringing home any money, it means you're not working, my dear, which is the definition of unemployed. Really, I am working and bringing in income. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, what I wanted to say was that if you're in financial trouble, and I can see you headed in that direction, I just don't want you relying on me for money, that's all. Oh, is that so? I don't think you have to worry about that, Rebecca. If you don't want any family contact with me, well, I'm okay with that if that's the way you want it. Oh, yeah, all right. I just wanted to put that out there so you know where I stand going forward. What I also wanted to say was, maybe you should seriously think about simply nullifying this whole engagement. I think it would be for the best. Pardon me, nullify? You mean I shouldn't get married? Is that what you're suggesting? I better get going. We'll talk again.
Hey, Brenda, are you okay? What's this about?
Hey, Paul, what are you talking about? Is there a problem?
It's about my brother's wife.
Are you talking about Becky? Or should I say Rebecca?
Yeah, that's right. She contacted me and started telling me all this weird stuff about you. I was just worried. We're not even married yet, and I'm already hearing this bitching from Becky. I was a bit concerned, you know?
Yeah, well, we did exchange line messages, but the last time we met face-to-face was at the dinner meeting last month. She sends these silly messages saying stuff like, I'm way more attractive than you, kind of stuff. Harmless kid stuff, really.
Oh yeah, I remember you showing me that text conversation a couple times. Boy, She never gives up with that nonsense.
Did she say something to you, Paul? What did she say?
To be honest, it was pretty appalling stuff. You sure you want to hear it?
Well, I can imagine what she said, so I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead.
Okay, get ready then. She said, "If you marry that lazy, jobless leech of a woman, I want nothing to do with you." And if that wasn't enough, she continued with, "If you were marrying an attractive and stylish woman, she would be a nice ornament. But that unappealing and unemployed freeloader? No thank you." She told me to nullify the engagement now. "Sooner the better," she said. I know, kinda low, huh?
You can say that again, but I suppose it can't be helped about what she said about being unemployed. I was sort of vague regarding that part. I didn't want to be too fancy on our first meeting, so I toned down my makeup and picked that simple dress. To be honest, I didn't expect to get such a reaction.
I'm really sorry for all this, Brenda.
You have no reason to apologize, Paul. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, well, she is my brother's wife, and I can't ignore the fact that she's a relative.
But it's because of my vague explanation of my work. She's just figured I was making my hobby sound like a real job. In a sense, I don't blame her. Anyway, maybe I should have been more upfront about it.
Well, that's not your fault at all. You had good reason to be vague about your work. You know what, Brenda? I don't think your choice of makeup and a more subdued choice of clothes was in any way wrong. In contrast, Becky's flashy clothes and thick eyelashes are way too tacky for my taste. As a matter of fact, everyone there was a bit taken aback by her way too flamboyant fashion choices.
Yeah, I know. I checked out her Instagram page the other day. Boy, what was she trying to prove with that makeup? Like an insect trying to attract the opposite sex.
That's an interesting way of putting it. You think she's trying to attract the opposite sex, maybe?
I'm not sure, but as a woman, it sure looks that way. But what do I know, right?
But why get all dressed up for a meeting between relatives? Makes no sense.
Yeah, that was sort of uncomfortable, wasn't it?
Anyways, I already told my folks as well as my brother about what you really do, so that's not a problem. As for Becky, my brother is waiting for the right time. But if things continue, I was thinking of just confronting her myself and explaining everything to her. Maybe that would be the more suitable route to take.
Don't get all worked up about it, Paul. Your brother said that he had plans, so leave it up to him. He'll work it out. Maybe he's got his own strategy all worked out. You don't want to disrupt his plans, right?
Sorry, Brenda. This is such a hassle for you, isn't it? I hate having to put you through this.
Don't worry about it, Paul. I'm fine. I've dealt with people like Becky hundreds of times in the past. She doesn't compare. I can deal with it just fine.
But it's an area Becky would be really interested in, and I just can't understand why she hasn't figured it out. At the meeting, I was super nervous that she would recognize your face and would go totally berserk. I totally thought she would know it was you on sight.
That's how it usually is, these things. You just don't expect it. Your mind doesn't register. Don't worry about me. I'll just play along with Becky until the wedding. I can handle her, no problem. There's no need to worry, Paul.
Really sorry, Brenda. I appreciate it.
So, Brenda, you've decided not to nullify that engagement like I suggested. I warned you about this. Oh, hello, Rebecca. How are you? I heard you were going to be coming late to the wedding. Can I ask you what time you'll be here? We have to make preparations, I'm sure you understand. The wedding ceremony is just about to begin, so I suggest you get here pretty soon. Yeah, well, I'm not sure I will make it in time. Probably get there right in the middle of it all. I was planning to just skip this silly affair, but my husband was so adamant that I attend, I reluctantly agreed. What a total waste of time. I have much better things to do than attend this dopey wedding. Well, as long as you're coming. But just remember that I am a popular Instagrammer, which will of course attract a considerable amount of attention, so just be ready for that. Ha! You had it coming, Brenda. I warned you about this. Rebecca, what the hell was that today? Why did you do such a thing? All I did was make a grand entrance into your boring little wedding and make a surprise speech. Did you enjoy that? A surprise speech? All you did was snatch that microphone from the host and make a fool of yourself. What an awful thing to do to a person's wedding. Oh, poor girl. I did it to pull the lid off the real you. To expose your true identity. The jobless fake that you are. So sorry that everyone had to know the real you, the unemployed freeloader pretending to be some social media big shot. I didn't want to be associated with you as a family member, so I took the initiative and made my position clear. So there would be no misunderstanding later on. I hope you understand. So what did you think? Did my little speech convince you to give up on this marriage? You must have been so embarrassed that you will never be able to go through with this partnership. Just to be clear, I don't want to be a part of a family with the likes of you. You do understand, Brenda, right? I mean, it would be such an embarrassment to say you're a relative. How many times have I said that I really don't care to have any family relationship with you? You go on your way and I'll go mine. We don't even have to interact. Why can't you just accept that? It's not about just not having contact. I told you about my Instagram page, right? You look through it all the time, right? As you can see on my Instagram page, I am a makeup specialist. I have a lot of followers who follow my makeup techniques and heed my advice on matters of beauty. But if my many followers learn that a jobless, plain Jane like yourself is a relative of mine, I'm finished. Or at least it would smear my reputation. And you tell me you're also doing social media stuff? Probably just uploading idiotic videos and messages, but you see, Brenda, if it gets out that I'm somehow associated with you, much less family-related, oh my god, it would tarnish my good name forever, and I just could not have that. Any potential danger to my good name has to be eradicated for good before it gets out of hand. Oh, boy. I really don't know what to say. Well, you can thank me for a successful speech. But after I made that speech, they kicked me out of there pretty quick, but that drab little ceremony was cancelled anyway, right? No, it wasn't cancelled. It continued to the very end. It all went perfectly except for that little speech incident partway through, but that was soon forgotten. Excuse me? They didn't cancel the whole shebang? Everyone was a little shocked at first, but most got over it. Some even thought it was just a prank. No way, you're lying. The timing of that surprise speech that you made was pretty good, though. Everyone sort of cringed after that. I hate to say this because I sound like I'm boasting. And I assure you I don't get any satisfaction in doing that, but among the many guests that were here, a lot of them were here to meet me, a pretty well-known influencer. Again, I hate to brag. Right when you started that speech, we were right in the middle of a photo and signing session with all my fans. Excuse me? Influencer? What the hell are you even talking about, Brenda? I'm saying I'm a well-known influencer, you know, a content creator on social media. I know exactly what an influencer is. You don't have to explain. So that means you've seen my face on Instagram, then? Huh? See you? Yes, I know that you follow me on my page, and you even liked me a bunch of times. As a matter of fact, you liked me on every photo. Wait, are you serious? When you barged into the room and snatched that mic from the host, you were so hyped up that you didn't get a good look at me. If you would have taken a good look, you would have recognized me right away because I was wearing the usual makeup that I normally use on Instagram. If you had only looked my way even for a second, I'm sure you would have realized who I was. Are you saying that normally you wear a more subdued sort of makeup? Is that what you're saying? Yes, that's right. I had a bad experience with this stalker once, so when in public, I try not to attract much attention by toning down my appearance. Just a way of protecting myself. I guess you can say it's kind of like a disguise. Wait a second. The people I follow on Instagram are limited. I only follow certain people, not any ordinary influencer. I probably only follow the top 10 influencers on Instagram. Are you saying that you're one of those top 10 people? Precisely. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why didn't you tell me this sooner, if I would have known? I made a complete fool of myself. Was this all on purpose? Of course not. Your husband asked me not to tell you. He thought it would be better. Excuse me? My husband told you not to tell me? Now why in the hell would he do that? He knew how you would react, is probably why. Once you found out I was a well-known influencer, you would use the status of your family reputation to me and blow everything out of proportion. I guess he didn't want you making a total fool of yourself. What? He said that? Yes, but I suggest you ask him directly. I don't want to put words in his mouth. From here on, this is an issue to be worked out between husband and wife. Brenda, are you there? Oh, please talk to me. My husband, he just divorced me. What did I do that was so wrong? All that makeup and clothes I needed for my Instagram page, I bought it on his credit card and my husband found out about it. I told him that I needed that stuff for my Instagram page. Besides, we're married, and so what's so wrong about sharing funds, right? But it turns out that his credit card was linked to his personal savings. Money he saved when he was single. I used a considerate amount, like $20,000. So after the divorce, I was told I would get nothing. It would have to reimburse him for the stuff I bought. Is that fair? What am I going to do? I can't pay him back for all that with just my part-time job money. Brenda, could you lend me some money? Please? An influencer like yourself, you make pretty good money, right? I'll pay you back in no time, so please, Brenda, help me out here. So please, $20,000. Please, I would really appreciate it. If you could add a little more so I could get back on my feet, oh, that would really be helpful. Sorry, Rebecca. I think I'll pass on that. And if you don't mind, I'm going to block you. Wait, please. See you around, Rebecca. Please, Brenda, help me out, please. Right after the wedding and that so-called surprise speech, Rebecca's Instagram page lost all her followers and went crashing down into the digital abyss. Someone at the wedding recorded the whole incident on their phone and quickly uploaded it to social media. And we all know what go viral means. I was surprised her Instagram page went down so quickly after that. Her dream of becoming a popular influencer vanished without a trace. After the divorce, she was relegated back to her parents' place back east. She was given one of those senior citizen phones that only have 3 or 4 important numbers preset and with no access to the internet. And I heard that she was only allowed to have no more than $10 in her purse. And of course no credit card of any kind. Only cash. Her parents got her a job just down the street at a relative's business, so they have her monitored 24/7. She's more like a prisoner now with nowhere to go. All she does is work to pay off her debts. Everyone in the neighborhood knew her story, what with that viral video and all. Actually, she was somewhat of a celebrity over there. Not exactly the kind of fame she was dreaming about. Hey, Ennio. Is there something you're hiding from me? Would you like to tell me about it?
Huh? Katya, what in the world are you talking about? I'm not hiding anything from you.
I already know, so it's no use trying to hide it. Spill it.
You make it sound like I'm guilty, but I'm really not hiding anything from you.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Trying to hide it will only make me angrier, you know, so I would just tell me if I were you.
I ate the last pudding that was in the fridge? Is that what you're angry about? I know I shouldn't have eaten your food, but that's no reason to get so mad, Katya.
What in the world are you talking about? Pudding?
Yeah, I know you said that the last one was yours. I didn't mean to. I forgot you said it when I ate it. If that's what you're mad about, then I bought 3 of the same pudding earlier, so forgive me.
Oh, is that so? Huh? Wait, that's not what I'm talking about!
What? Then what are you talking about? I don't really have anything else I'm hiding from you. Are you feeling alright, Katya?
I'm feeling fine! I'm talking about something a little bit more important. It's something so important that it will change our relationship from now on.
I'm sorry, but I really have no idea what you're talking about. Could you just tell me?
You know that I went on a business trip to a place near your hometown today, right? I went to the supermarket on my way home to the hotel when 2 people, one of whom called herself your mom, approached me.
What? Are you sure about that? Is she with you now?
No, I'm currently on my own, so rest assured. The woman who called herself your mom had a mole under her right eye and called herself Savina.
Really? My mom also has a mole under her right eye and is named Savina, but how does she even recognize you? I've never introduced her to you since I already cut ties with my family back home 5 years before we got married.
Apparently your mother found out about me when she saw the picture of us at your friend's wedding. You know, the one your brother was also invited to.
Oh, that wedding? I was surprised seeing my brother there. It was the first time I'd seen him in 6 years. So that's how she found out about you then.
Not only that, your mother had a 5-year-old girl with her.
Huh? A 5-year-old girl? Was it a grandchild or something?
Yes, she said that she was her granddaughter.
So that means that my brother got married and had children?
No. This child wasn't your brother's, she said. She said that it was yours.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about? You know that's impossible, right?
No, all I know now is that you've been lying to me all this time. You had a secret child living in your parents' house? Why didn't you tell me about this when we got married?
Hold on, I don't have any such secret child. You know that's impossible, right?
I'm not going to let you lie to me again. Tell me who this child's mother is or I'm getting divorced to you.
But I haven't been to my parents' house in 10 years. I told you this already, right? I also told you why I became distant with my family there, right? Besides, you're not the kind of person to let your emotions take control of you, Katya. You're the kind of person to make logical decisions, right? I know you're probably surprised by all this, but...
Oh, but I'm always logical. I'm asking you again. Who is that child's mother?
Huh? But I already told you that I have no such secret child. It's probably my brother, so ask him if you want. He was always so careless with women.
Stop trying to make this your brother's responsibility. I'm not going to go home until you give me a satisfactory answer. If you won't tell me, then fine. I'll give you until tomorrow. Bye.
Katya, but I told you I don't even know who that child is. Why are you suddenly being like this?
Long time no see, Enio. I never thought that I would be texting you about something like this. But I think that me bumping into your wife at the supermarket is some sort of fate. Please take your daughter that you left here 5 years ago.
Hello, Mother. Long time no see. Can't say it's a pleasure.
Oh, so I see you finally unblocked me. No hard feelings anymore?
No, I haven't forgiven you and brother what you did to me all those years ago. I just have no choice because it looks like you made contact with my wife. Let's just get things straight first. I don't have a child. I don't know what the hell you're planning, but don't get my wife involved in this.
But your wife listened to what I had to say. She believed me and not you. And that's why she texted you yesterday, didn't she? If you don't tell her who the mother is, she really is going to divorce you, you know. Actually, she's probably going to divorce you either way now. I mean, I can't blame her. After all, you have been keeping a child's secret from her all this time. You not telling her about this when you two got married is enough reason to get divorced, I'm afraid.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this secret child of yours isn't mine.
Oh, is that so? And do you have proof that can back up this claim of yours? Who knows? Maybe you had a child but just never knew about it. It's possible.
Why don't we do a DNA test then? We'll know for sure then.
Huh? A DNA test? What's that? I've never heard of it. Isn't DNA the thing that determines our characteristics or something? What does that have to do with this?
No, look it up yourself. I'm not going to explain high school biology to you, Mother. All that matters is that if me and this child take a DNA test, then we'll know for sure whether he's my child or not. I can tell you with certainty, though, that's not my child.
Is that so? But are you going to be able to convince your wife, Katya? I don't think she's going to believe you even then. You see, I get the feeling that she's not going to be convinced by your fancy DNA tests.
I see. Judging by what you've been saying until now, you've seen the conversation with Katya I had yesterday, no? But Katya said that she was alone when she sent me those texts. Did she show it to you or something?
Who knows? Maybe I saw it, maybe I didn't. What's important is that your wife isn't going to forgive you until you tell her who this child's mother is.
Katya?
What do you want? I told you I wouldn't be coming home until you gave me a satisfactory answer. If you don't confess soon, I'm going to divorce you.
I can prove that that child isn't mine. We can have a DNA test done if you want.
Huh? A DNA test? What's that? Stop trying to fool me again. I know this child is yours. So tell me who the mother is or I'm going to divorce you.
I don't know why you're suddenly acting like this, Katya. You were never the type to let emotions cloud your judgment.
I told you already, I'm being completely logical right now. So there's no use trying to lie to me.
Alright, I understand. Anyways, your friend from middle school just contacted me.
Huh? My friend from middle school?
You made a promise to meet them next week, right? He told me to tell you since he only knew our home number. I know we're currently in the middle of something, but I promised him I'd tell you, so I will.
Oh, is that so? What did he have to say then?
Is 2 at W Station alright, just like we planned, he said.
Yep. Tell my friend that no changes need to be made.
Got it. I'll tell you one more time, though. I don't have a secret child.
All right. But I'm not going to go home until I find out the truth. Anyhow, I just snuck out of your mother's house. She was holding me captive in my room, even locking it from the outside. But I was able to jump out through the window. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. I'm currently on the way to the W station by taxi. Is this according to plan? I realized that this was just like that spy game we played recently. So I played it out exactly like in the game, but...
Yep, I'm glad you got the message. The meeting next week is actually tomorrow, Sunday. Which is the first day of the week, and by 2, I mean 2 a.m. Even though people normally assume that it would be 2 p.m.
Oh, so it was just like in the game. I wasn't sure whether you had gotten my secret messages, but it seems like it worked out.
Yep, you were pretty impressive too, Katya, with those secret messages. You must have done a great job fooling my mother as well.
Yep, I used to be in the theater club, remember? Acting is a pretty useful skill, you know. What did you think of I'm always logical?
That was perfect. I remember you telling me that someone who was truly logical would never say such a thing. You knew that I would get your message, so you sent it to me while being watched by my mother, right?
Yep, exactly. Oh, I'm almost at W Station.
Alright, I'll park the car at the South Rotary, so wait for me near the stairs.
A car? What does it look like?
It's a red car that I rented. Let's go home, Katia.
Yep. Enio! Did you sneak Katia out last night? I went to her room to give her some food earlier, but she was gone. How in the world did you do it?
Hello, Mother. It seems that you forcefully dragged Katia, who you saw by accident at the supermarket, back to your home and made her take care of this secret child of yours. I knew what you were doing, but I decided not to tell you since it would ruin the element of surprise.
How in the world did you find out?
You see, I got a call from Katia's company saying that she wasn't going to work and that they weren't able to contact her. Right after that, she sent me, or rather you forced her to send me, those texts about this secret child of mine. Meaning that it was obvious to me that you had done something to Katia.
Yeah, but that wife of yours seemed suspicious of you from the start. She was furious when I told her that you had a secret child.
Yeah, she was just acting. Impressive, right? Apparently, she used to be in the theater club.
She was acting?
She knew what was going on, and so she hid secret SOS signals in those messages that you made her send me.
But you still have no proof that the child isn't yours.
I haven't been to that town in 10 years. How could it possibly be my child?
I don't know. Why are you asking me? You're the one who left her here.
Fine, I'll tell you how I know that isn't my child. Katia is the first person I've had sex with.
Huh? Seriously? Weren't you like 28 when you married her?
Yes, but that's not the point. There's no way I have a secret child because Katia has never been pregnant before. I'm not like my brother who does it with all sorts of women all the time. I have no idea why you suspected me and not him in the first place.
But it can't be your brother's child.
So you do know, huh? That child is my brother's child, isn't it? You went a bit too far with this fun and won't even take responsibility for it. The truth is that the woman who gave birth to that child did her best to raise her daughter until she was 5 years old, even though she wasn't married to my daughter. But the stress was just too much for her, and she fell mentally ill. So she gave the child to my brother and entered a facility for the mentally ill. This is what happened, right?
How? You've been away for 10 years. How do you know all that?
It's true that I left that place, but I still have some friends there, you know. One of those friends is a person that has a variety of connections and knows basically everything going on in that town. I contacted him and he was able to find out the truth for me in an instant.
I didn't know you had friends like that.
By the way, I know about brother as well. He's now unemployed and just stays in his room all day, right? 2 years ago, he tried to put his hands on the CEO's daughter and ended up enraging her dad, the CEO. And so he was fired from his job and is still unemployed to this day. Is that correct?
You even know that? But I haven't even told anyone.
What I saw from here is just my guess, but this is what I think happened. You and Dad relied on Brother's salary to make a living until now, since Dad didn't have a job. But now that Brother is unemployed as well, you no longer have the money to support yourselves, let alone a grandchild. That's when you set your eyes on me, your other son who earns a steady salary working at an office. You first were planning to convince me to send you guys money every month, or maybe of moving in with you for…
We weren't planning on doing anything like that. We just wanted you to reunite with your family again.
Shut up, we were never a family. Anyways, while you were scheming, you suddenly saw my wife Katia at the supermarket. I never introduced her to you, but you had seen photos of her from a wedding that Brother and I were invited to. And so you suddenly came up with the idea of using Katia. You told her that this grandchild of yours was my secret child, wanting to make her doubt me. If the two of us got divorced, you would have pushed that child on me saying it was mine. If the two of us didn't get divorced, you would still push that child on me to be raised me and Katia's child and maybe even convince us to move in with you so I could provide you three as well. Either way, you intended on making me take full responsibility for this child of brothers.
How do you know even that?
I was just guessing, but judging by your reaction, I was correct.
But you haven't been here for 10 years. How could you possibly have guessed all that?
It doesn't matter if I haven't been there in 10 years. I know how the three of you think, and it seems like it hasn't changed all these years. To think that you three are still as rotten as you were 10 years ago when I left. Disgusting. Leaving was the best decision I ever made.
What did you say to us? I'm your mother. You can't talk to me like that.
Oh? And what are you going to do about it? You know what? Why don't I give you a suggestion? If you have the time to make up these schemes, then why didn't you convince my brother to get a job instead?
What? But that's impossible.
How the hell is it impossible? Brother has a responsibility of a father now. The Iwanami Construction Group, famous for turning degenerates like my brother into upstanding citizens, has an office in our hometown, right? Well, I'll send him there.
The Iwanami Construction Group? But they're no joke. Who knows what will happen to your brother if he gets sent there?
They're a business partner of mine, so I already told them about my brother and how he would love to join them.
You what? What in the world do you think you're doing, sending your brother to the Iwanami Construction Group? Don't you have any compassion for your brother? You were always so heartless, Enio.
I didn't send him just yet. You're the ones who are going to decide whether he'll go or not. But I heard that they have company apartments where the workers' families can come and live with them. Why don't you and Dad join my brother at the Iwanami Construction Group too? I mean, you're degenerates just like he is, after all.
Actually, I'll pass.
Do you really think that you guys have any other option? What are you gonna do, go homeless instead?
What? But you could provide for us, Enio. Please, son. I know we didn't get along so well, but we're still your family, right?
You kidnapped my wife and held her captive at your house. You know, when she saw me, she hugged me immediately and started crying. She must have been terrified. Do you really think I'm gonna forgive you for that? Let alone fucking give you guys money. How delusional are you? You three can rot in hell for all I care.
Enio. But I'm your mother. You can't speak like that to your mother. I know you're not actually like this. I know you're a kind-hearted soul. I'm your mother, so please help us.
Don't pretend you're my mother after everything you've done until now. Didn't you used to make me eat canned food when you would cook a proper dinner for everyone else?
Huh? But we raised you for 18 years. Don't you think that you have a duty to provide for us when we're the ones who need help?
You're trash, Mom. Those are the worst 18 years of my life. You always treated me like how Harry Potter's aunt and uncle treated him. I got my wife back already, so I'm done with people. I'm gonna change my phone number as well, so you'll never be seeing me again.
Wait, Enio, don't go. We don't want to go to the Iwanami Construction Group. I heard what they do to workers that slack off, please. Send your brother, but don't send me and your dad. We're too old to do hard labor.
You should have thought about that earlier. Goodbye. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. 1 hour after that, 2 black vans came to my parents' home. My mom and dad got put into one van and my brother and his child got put into the other. The 2 vans went in separate directions after that. According to the Iwanami Construction Group, he'll never feel like he himself is a father, and so they decided to place him in different camps. They just started working, so what happens to them from now on is up to them. Both my parents and my brother work hard labor every day, day and night. being made sure by their supervisors that they don't slack off. Also, brother's child apparently started going to kindergarten and seems to be enjoying it, which I'm glad to hear. I intend on cutting ties with the three of them, but I hope that one day they are in fact reborn into upstanding citizens, just like the Owanami construction group says they will be.